Today, we're venturing deep into the quiet, unnerving forests of Oregon, far from the comforting lights of any town. Our destination? A place locals only speak of in hushed tones, a place they call the Hollow Creek House. Imagine this, a structure lost to time, its wood a ghostly gray, paint peeling away like sunburnt skin. The creek that gives it its name doesn't just babble, it gurgles, as if whispering ancient, unsettling secrets to the wind. And here's the kicker, no one has ever lived in it, or at least no one who's been able to tell the tale. This is the mystery that drew our protagonist, Lila, an investigative journalist with a hunger for stories that chill you to the bone. Lila arrived just as the sun bled out below the horizon, plunging the forest into a deep, velvety darkness. The air was heavy, thick with the scent of damp earth and decay. As she stepped onto the ancient wooden porch, it groaned a low, mournful protest under her weight. She peered through the grimy front windows, and what she saw was a scene straight from a nightmare. Moonlight sliced through the gloom, revealing a vast, empty foyer where dust motes swirled like trapped spirits. In this house, even the shadows seemed alive, twisting and writhing in the corners of her vision, aware of her intrusion. Summoning her courage, Lila tried the front door. It swung open with a slow, deliberate creak, not with the resistance of age, but with the chilling ease of an invitation. Stepping inside felt like crossing a threshold into another world. Her flashlight beam cut a sharp path through the darkness, dancing over peeling floral wallpaper, shattered picture frames, and furniture draped in yellowed, decaying sheets, like forgotten corpses. The silence in the house was a living thing, heavy and oppressive. And then, it was broken. A faint, ethereal whisper slithered down from the grand staircase. "Why are you here?" Lila's heart hammered against her ribs. She was supposed to be completely alone, miles from anyone. She called out, "Hello? Is someone there?" The only reply was the whisper growing louder, multiplying, becoming a chilling chorus of overlapping voices, echoing from the very walls of the house. They swirled around her, a symphony of dread. Was it the wind? Was it her imagination? Or was it the house itself speaking to her? Driven by a mix of terror and professional curiosity, she began to climb the stairs. Each footstep echoed with an unnatural clarity, each creak of the old wood sounding like a dry, cracking bone. It felt as if the house was counting her ascent, savoring every moment of her growing fear. The whispers followed her, weaving in and out of the shadows, promising secrets and threatening oblivion. At the top of the landing, a single door stood slightly ajar. Pushing it open, Lila found herself in a bedroom frozen in a forgotten time. A small wooden crib stood in the corner, and to her horror, it was rocking, slowly, rhythmically, back and forth, as if an unseen hand was soothing a phantom child. There was no draft, no wind, just the steady, silent motion. Her flashlight beam swept across the walls, and what she saw made her blood run cold. Scrawled in what looked like black ink were childish yet deeply unsettling messages. The looping, uneven script repeated the same phrases over and over. She watches. She waits. Who was she? The question hung in the air, thick and menacing. Then her light fell upon a large, ornate mirror hanging above a dusty dresser. It reflected the room with perfect, haunting clarity. The rocking crib, the peeling wallpaper, the scribbled walls. Everything was there, except her reflection wasn't alone. Standing directly behind her in the mirror was a figure. It was pale, its features indistinct, almost smudged, but one detail was terrifyingly clear. It was grinning, a wide, unnatural grin that stretched its faceless head. Lila spun around, her heart seizing in her chest. There was nothing there, just the empty, dusty room. Her breath hitched. Was she losing her mind? With a trembling hand, she turned back to the mirror. The figure was still there, but it had moved. It was closer now, its form more defined. Two black voids had opened up where its eyes should be, and its smile had stretched impossibly wide, a silent, manic laugh. Lila was paralyzed. A scream caught in her throat. She could only stare in abject horror as the reflection of the thing began to move. It raised its hands, pressing them against the glass from the other side, its long, pale fingers splaying out as if trying to claw its way through. The whispers that had tormented her since she arrived now exploded into a deafening, psychic roar. 1,000 voices, young and old, male and female, all screaming a single terrifying command inside her head. Stay, forever! Lila finally understood. The Hollow Creek house wasn't just empty. It was waiting. It had been waiting for decades, waiting for someone curious, waiting for someone brave, waiting for someone foolish enough to come alone. And tonight, in the suffocating darkness of the Oregon woods, it had found her. She had come seeking a viral story, but what she found was a permanent home. The house had its new resident, and it would never let her go. Thank you so much for joining me on this terrifying journey. What do you think happened to Lila? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from the shadows. Stay safe out there, and until next time, try not to look in any old mirrors. Lila stumbled backward from the mirror, her flashlight flickering wildly. The bedroom seemed to stretch unnaturally, walls elongating and twisting like the house itself was alive. The crib rocked faster now, creaking in time with her racing heartbeat. The scribbles on the wall seemed to move, letters shifting into warnings she couldn't read, as if they were alive. A cold breeze swept the room, though all windows were shut. The whispering voices grew louder, overlapping, urgent. Leave! Leave! Stay! She turned to the door, but it was gone. The hallway beyond had vanished, replaced by a long corridor lined with more mirrors, each reflecting versions of the room she had never seen. In some, the ceiling dripped black liquid. In others, shadows moved independently of the light. One mirror caught her attention. Her reflection smiled at her, a grotesque imitation, even as she herself trembled and kept silent. The reflection raised a finger, beckoning her closer. Lila tried to look away, but her body moved forward against her will. Her reflection whispered in her own voice, "It's too late." Suddenly, the floor beneath her groaned and cracked. She stumbled, catching herself on the edge of the crib. From the shadows, a pale hand emerged, pressing against the surface of the mirror as if trying to push through. Lila screamed and ran, but every step forward seemed to bring her closer to the mirrors, not the exit. At that moment, a soft glow appeared at the end of the corridor. A door slightly ajar, light spilling like a promise of escape. Desperation drove her forward. She ran through the endless corridor, mirrors reflecting hundreds of faceless figures, all reaching toward her with silent, gaping mouths. The whispers became a chorus, chanting her name, drawing her in like moth to flame. She finally reached the door and flung it open. The light blinded her, and she fell onto the damp forest floor outside. The Hollow Creek murmured softly, almost soothingly, as if nothing had happened. Lila scrambled to her feet, heart hammering, and looked back at the house. It was still there, silent and waiting. In the top bedroom window she could see the pale figure standing, and staring directly at her, a twisted smile etched into its faceless features. She ran into the night, but she could feel its eyes, watching, patient and hungry, following her all the way home. Lila couldn't sleep. Even miles away, the whispers haunted her, soft at first, then louder, echoing in her mind. Every shadow in her apartment seemed to twitch unnaturally. Every reflection in her mirror flickered with movement. She knew the Hollow Creek house hadn't released her. It had marked her. The next night, drawn by a compulsion she couldn't resist, she returned. The forest was darker now, the fog thicker, swallowing her flashlight's beam. The creek gurgled behind her, but the melody was wrong. It carried voices, whispering her name. She reached the clearing. The house loomed, more sinister than before. Its windows were black holes absorbing the moonlight. Inside, the mirrors awaited. They lined the hallways endlessly, reflecting corridors that didn't exist. Lila's reflection appeared, but now it smiled constantly, beckoning her forward. Shadows moved around her, coiling like living snakes. The whispers screamed, "Stay. Join us." The pale, faceless figure from before appeared at the end of the hall. Its hands reached toward her, stretching impossibly long. Lila tried to run, but the mirrors multiplied, surrounding her, each reflection holding another version of herself, twisted and screaming. Panic turned to paralysis. She realized the house didn't just trap bodies, it trapped souls. Desperate, she grabbed a shard of broken mirror from the floor and held it up. For a moment, the pale figure froze. The shard reflected the house's true form, warped, alive, a creature feeding on fear. Summoning her courage, Lila smashed it to the ground. The mirrors cracked and splintered, the whispers shrieking in agony. She ran through the hallway, dodging the grasping shadows. The front door loomed ahead, faint light spilling through. She burst outside just as the first rays of dawn broke through the fog. The forest was silent. The hollow creek flowed peacefully again. But when she looked back, the house remained. Its windows gleamed faintly, and in one, a pair of black void eyes stared at her. She knew the Hollow Creek house never truly lets go. It waits, patient and hungry, for the next curious soul to wander too close. Lila left the forest forever, but the whispers never left her mind. Every reflective surface, a mirror, a window, a puddle, held a glimpse of it. The house had followed her, an echo of terror she could never escape.